Hey everyone, Jason here, digital marketing consultant, and in this productivity video, we're going to go through the pros and cons of basing your day off time blocking versus to-do lists. And to help walk us through it, we're joined by Janis from over at the Productivity and Time Management channel. I'll link up to his channel in the description. He does a ton of videos on how to be more productive and awesome book reviews. So let's go ahead and kick things off. Why is time blocking so much better for planning your day compared to to-do lists?
Well, first of all, I think when you use time blocking, then you can see the bigger picture, whereas when you do to-do lists, you basically kind of chase some small things. And what also happens is you kind of try to do a lot of little things that to make you feel that you're actually moving forward. And it kind of, while you feel you're moving forward, it's actually usually not the most important things that you should be doing. So I used to do to-do lists all the time, and I just got stuck with forever being in a rut and really not getting ahead of the game. And then when I started my process on working with the time blocks, I straight away could improve my productivity because I started to see the bigger picture and I could connect my time blocks with actually goals rather than just chasing a little to-dos and just making sure everything is done. And yeah, that would be my first big point about why time blocking is definitely better than to-do lists.
Yeah, absolutely. And so on a more tactical level, because you're structuring your day based around the big picture, you're actually forcing yourself to spend your most valuable or precious asset, your time, on what's actually important. Because something that I know I fell into when I started just doing to-do lists is everything that's urgent always comes to the top. And then it feels like you're running around with your head chopped off, putting out fires all the time. And then all of a sudden you get to the end of the day, but you didn't actually work on what the most important thing is in whatever you're trying to achieve. So by having a big picture approach and using time blocking, you're intentionally setting that intention up front, saying, you know what, we're going to spend X amount of time on this, and then whatever this is most likely important but not urgent. And so it makes sure that you have your priorities straight and you don't get kind of swayed by whatever fire is popping up in your business. So how do we take this and actually structure our day, right? Like, what does that actually look like?
Yeah, so the second thing that really takes advantage of time blocking is that you can actually build a structure around your day. Because what happens with the to-dos, even if you try to estimate how long things are going to take, that usually is very inaccurate. And it usually, what I find with myself is that it basically destroys your daily structure. Because if you think, hey, this task is going to take me X amount of time, and then I'm going to do this, then basically as soon as something takes longer, it just puts you off completely, and that just overwhelms you, and you usually don't finish the list. With time blocking, you allocate the time for specific activities, and then you execute. And when the time block is finished, yes, you might stay on maybe just to finish off, but you move on to the next thing. And even if the previous time block, let's say if I worked on the content and if I didn't get on very well, my next time block would be client work or something like that, then I was able to switch that focus and forget about not so successful time block, but get on with the next thing. Whereas if I always wanted to do things in order, it would just make me overwhelmed and I wouldn't be able to complete that. So that's why I think when you start to structure around time blocks, you can maximize your productivity and keep the structure throughout the day rather than just rely on odd occasions where you start on something and you just try to finish it and then it just goes nowhere. So that's why time blocking really helps you to build that structure and keep that structure throughout the day. And even if something fails, you can still achieve a lot more with keeping your structure.
Absolutely. And I think something that's interesting though is a lot of the pushback I get from people who are first introduced to time blocking is, yeah, but what if something takes longer, right? And so this is something that I actually really like about time blocking, because like with any skill, it takes time to learn and understand. And so what I do, and I know you do something similar, is I actually go back at the end of the day or the end of the week and I look at how long things took. Because sometimes you're going to time block 3 or 4 hours for something and it winds up you need 8 or 9 or something crazy like that. So the first time that happens, it's really painful, because then you have to change your week, you have to change your project plans. But if you're actually tracking everything and adjusting, then all of a sudden the next time a project like that comes up, you're actually able to plan out the right amount of time. So it actually is a great reality check, because it ensures that you start to learn about how long things actually take. I personally use Google Calendar. I know you have this awesome looking spreadsheet that you keep track of time with.
Yeah.
And no matter how you do it, you just need to keep track of that time so you can improve your planning in the future.
Yeah, definitely. That the thing about the time blocks that I would also like to add is what you said, that yes, sometimes things do take longer. And one of the things that I noticed, especially when I also work with my clients and talk with other people, is that they're like, oh, if you're having a structure, if you're time blocking and you're having this structure, then basically you can't be spontaneous, you can't do things. But that is totally inaccurate thinking, because if you think about it, people who want to be spontaneous and jump around, they usually don't achieve anything. They just kind of have illusion that, oh, I can do anything I want. But actually, what I would say, I have the most time when I structure it, because what happens is when I structure it in a way so that I'm the most productive person and I get things done, and then I have a time block which is free, which is basically my freedom. I can do whatever I want and and relax and enjoy, or do whatever, or sometimes I do extra work if I want to. But a lot of people do think that time blocking is not good because it takes away your freedom, which I totally don't agree with, because it actually gives you the freedom, because you can only have freedom once you have done your things, So yeah, if you're kind of defensive about trying out defensive about trying out the time blocking, and if you think that, oh, I need that flexibility, then time blocking might be the right thing, because you'll be definitely a lot more productive than just chasing the to-dos and just trying to make sure that everything is done. And talking about to-dos, one big kind of an obstacle with to-dos is that there is illusion that somehow you want to be more productive and you want to get more things done. So you get kind of trapped in the loop, because what happens is you kind of try to make everything efficient. Let's say every Monday you do 10 tasks.
Yep.
Your goal is, to improve, your goal is to do 11 tasks and then 12. But it doesn't help you to move forward, just because all you get is you just get busier. You just get busier because you was able to do 10, now you can do 12, then you do 15, and what's the next? What's the next thing? You'll just chase for 16 and 17. But the thing is that it doesn't actually move you forward, because you just get busier, and what's going to happen eventually, and what's happened with me as well, is I just literally burn out, because I hit the point where I'm like, I just can't handle it. For some time you feel like you're getting more productive, and then you just completely push down, and you become completely dismotivated of moving on. So when you time block, it removes that trap, because you're actually structuring your day. You're saying, okay, I'm gonna spend this amount of time and I'm gonna do as much as I can during that time block, then I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna have a free time, because you can actually plan for it and have that free time if you time block. So I definitely think the time blocking approach has helped me tremendously to improve my productivity and help other people. And but the thing is, it's not like you completely move away from to-dos. There is still tasks that we do during the time blocks. It's just the way you approach and the way you think about your day and about your week. I would go in further, because you don't really structure just a day. You take a cycle, which is usually a week, and then you layer out your tasks and your goals, and then you allocate time for the most important activities.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's an excellent way to wrap up. So thank you so much for watching. Janis's link is in the description if you want to learn more about how to be more productive with time blocking and other time management techniques. So hit that subscribe button, like, and comment with whatever you're doing with structuring your day, and of course if you use to-do lists or time blocking. And until the next, keep building the business you love.